Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Toon Review. The Premier League is back, and finally we get to do our match preview. The first one of the season, of course, and it is Southampton at home at St James's Park on Saturday with a 3 o'clock kickoff. Full commentary, of course, right here on the Toon Review, your number one channel for Newcastle United this season, with reviews, previews, live games, everything on here. But if you do enjoy tonight's show, hit that thumbs up button for us, guys. And if you do find the channel and you're new and like what you see, come and subscribe. Wonderful community here on the Toon Review. But don't forget to hit that notification bell as well, which will let you know when we schedule our live shows or we upload any recordings. You can become a member of the Toon Review, of course, by hitting that join button and support the channel that way. Or you can super chat via the $ at the bottom of the live comments. And of course, that will also guarantee your comment to be read out live on the show. Anyway, let's move into it. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good morning to everyone. Good morning, good evening. And,
good morning, Billy. You've been asleep on the sofa again, but jet lag there, mate.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Not the reason why we're late, though. Not the reason why we're late. It's for going further.
No. He's not. We've got Martin coming on in just a second. He is a Southampton fan, so he's going to give us his view. He's good with us for about 20, 25 minutes or so to go through the Southampton side of things and how they've done over the summer and what their feelings are ahead of the new season, of course. And then the rest of the show, we'll talk about what we think is going to happen Newcastle-wise, and of course, bring you any latest news from Newcastle as well. Avina, thank you for being a member for 14 months. Looking good there, Billy. Yes, Billy is rocking the new away shirt. I am yet to purchase it. But without further ado, let's bring in Martin. Good evening, Martin.
Gentlemen, I've got to say that away shirt is absolutely stunning. I love it. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's a bit of a retro back to the, was it 94, 95 or 95, 96, Billy? One of the two.
96. 596, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they posted Ginola in it on the Twitter, I think.
Yeah. Why not?
Adidas have done a great job in Newcastle's kit. I've got to say, you got some great stuff coming out. Yeah, brilliant, absolutely superb.
Yeah, the launches for the kits have been absolutely sensational. Bringing all the legends back to star in the adverts and things like that. It's been a real good selling point for them. It's just great to have Adidas back, to be honest, after the trash that was Castore over the years, but never mind. They are water under the bridge well and truly now. But welcome to the channel, Martin. Thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Southampton back in the Premier League after a season away. How are you as a fan feeling? How's the general feeling amongst the supporters going into the season?
Oh, I think we're so excited. I'm really looking forward to it. I think there's a lot of people that are really apprehensive about how Southampton are fair back in the Premier League, but I think we have to be excited about it. And what an away day to kick off with. You know, the longest away day for us. Yeah. But what a place to go! What a place to go and play football. I've never been to St James's Park, so really excited to be taking the long trip up there. It's an early start, but yeah, I think we're absolutely buzzing for it. Really excited.
It's definitely a long trip up the road and definitely a long trip to your seat up in the gods there. But it's a hell of a view, obviously. And look, I mean, Southampton, they've been sort of, you've been down in the doldrums before. You've come back. Obviously, last season, getting relegated was a blow, leaving the Premier League. But last season, bouncing back. Do you think you have a squad capable this season with? Obviously, you've still got some players with Premier League experience there. Do you think you've got what it takes to stay up?
I think we're going to need some more bodies in the door to do it. I think we're a little bit lightweight at the moment. I'm a little bit concerned in some areas. I think we've done some really good business. I think this whole transfer window not closing before the season starts is nonsense on everybody's part. I think it's just a nightmare. Certainly for a smaller club like Southampton, it suits big boys that have got money to spend. But for us, it puts us in a difficult position because we need to get players out the door to get players in the door because we're on the verge of financial fair play and all the rules and regulations around that. So, look, the business we've done has been good. Taylor Harbour-Bellis signed from Man City on a permanent. He was with us last season. Outstanding centre-back. I can't wait to see him in the Premier League against the top strikers, the top player, because he's brilliant. He was great in the Championship. Flynn Downs, is in on loan last year from West Ham. We signed him on a permanent. Brilliant bit of business.
Yeah.
And we've added a few additions around, sort of certainly in defence. I think in the final third, we're weaker at the moment because we haven't been able to get people in the door. One of those being one of your boys, Ryan Fraser. We just happened to get the deal done.
Oh, please get the deal done. I mean, look, I'm seeing the chat going crazy, saying everybody is saying the same thing. Please take Ryan Fraser. Now, to be fair, he did do a decent job for you last season. There's no doubt about that. He really did. He never really fit in at Newcastle, Billy, but maybe he's one of those players that just needed to find the right club. And it seemed like when he went on loan, Billy, he found that. Yeah,
well, he's trying to reprove himself, relaunch his career, I guess. Mm-hmm. When I first saw him for Southampton last season, I thought he was really good, as has been said. I just don't think he's good enough for the Premiership, if I'm perfectly honest. He certainly isn't good enough for our side. I'm not quite sure he'd be good enough for Southampton in the Premier League. But, if they want him, just give us $1 million or $2 million and he can go.
Yeah, Russell Martin doesn't think it'll happen. He doesn't think it's going to happen. I think it's off.
Yeah, we were talking last night on our show regarding what Russell Martin had said. Alex, you'd probably drive him there for nothing, would you?
I would take a zero transfer fee if you just take his wages. We need him off the books. He was, as far as we're aware, he was a mole. He was leaking things. He got banished to the youth teams by Eddie Howe, and it was publicly disclosed he was not going to play for the club again. He was also a bad egg at Bournemouth. I wasn't a massive fan of him when we used him when Eddie Howe first joined. A lot of people loved his work rate, and I thought everybody was missing the fact he was blowing out of his backside by the 65th, 70th minute, but they went, oh, but he gives everything. Yeah, but he can't finish a game. I don't know if you found that with him. I've not watched him too much in the Championship. I don't know if he was able to complete lots of 90 minutes and be aggressive, or did you notice that he wasn't able to see out games?
He didn't start for a long period of time. He was coming off the bench, making an impact from off the bench, and he scored a few last-minute winners for us. He scored a last-minute winner at Hull, at Millwall, and made some really good contributions. It's probably his best
level's always been very high, hasn't it? So
yeah, but when he started, he would always be pulled. He would very rarely play 90 minutes. Very rarely. I think we need to be a lot stronger out wide. I think we'll probably look elsewhere now. From what I'm hearing, I heard he needed a settlement with Newcastle before.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah, I think that's what it is that was stopping the deal going through. He wanted his wages paid up by Newcastle before he left the club, and obviously Newcastle saying no, and there's a stalemate between the two parties, and that's interfering with the transfer. Look, I mean, there's still a little bit of time left in the window, and knowing football the way we do, the transfer could go through to the last day, and then suddenly everything's agreed and Fraser signs for Southampton. It's crazy how it works, the transfer window. We've just got a couple of super chats and members. Jamie Knoll, welcome to Members Club. Damon Trouve, or Damon Trouve, welcome to Members Club as well. Jamie, thank you for a super chat as well. Evening, lads. See, the Cherky deal has fallen through with Leipzig. Romano's reporting he would be a great addition on the right for us. Alex has just found that out. And yes, Call Me Swift, thank you for being a member for 8 months. Words can't describe how excited I am for the Premier League to be back. All we need now is Anthony Gordon to sign a new contract, and I can finally sleep at night. Martin, who do you think is going to stand out for the Saints this season? Who could be the players that can drag you and up the league or keep you safe?
I think we're going to need some extra bodies to give us that chance. We're a little bit weak in the goalkeeping department, so the goalkeeper's not going to get us any points, that's for sure.
Right.
I think for us, Flynn Downs in midfield will be vital. I think he can be really, really important. I think Adam Armstrong last season done very well in the Championship. Whether it's his level, he's a big chance for him to go and play in a system that suits him, a manager that believes in him, and a fan base that loves him because he scored the winner at Wembley in the playoff final.
Will he start, do you think, on Saturday?
Oh, 100%. He'll be on the first names on the team sheet. Okay. Yeah. He doesn't play through the middle. We don't play with a 9 at the moment. We don't really have anyone to play out and out 9. Armour won't play out and out 9. He'll play off the right side and he'll come in off the flank. He scored 24 goals last season for us. Prior 2 seasons in the Premier League, he only scored 2. So he's not scored 4. Sorry, he scored 4 in 2 seasons. Not enough, nowhere near enough. So he's going to have to really step up in the Premier League, and that's probably a big question mark for me. Will he do it? He offers a lot. He works hard, but you don't get time in the Premier League. It's a totally different kettle of fish. The gap in the 2 divisions is huge. I think he will be important for us. I spoke about Harwood Bellis. For Saints to stay in the division, they need Harwood Bellis to be top drawer at centre back, because we're going to need a good back four. Him and Jan Bednarek, good partnership last year. Carl Walker-Peters is still with us. Brilliant last season. Whether he starts Saturdays, another. He's not played a lot in pre-season because they're probably trying to sell him. Final year of his contract, won't sign a contract, so they're going to try and get him out the door, probably get some money in. Yeah. But we're lightweight up top. That's who's going to play as a 9. So Brereton Diaz is in. He's worth a mention on the show, actually, because it play on the left side and come inside. I'm not sure he plays an out-and-out 9, but I'm not sure how we hurt you Saturday. That's my real concern. I think you're in a totally different planet to where we are right now in terms of like club and players and where you're at.
It's very interesting for you to say that, because obviously we've noticed 1 or 2, shall we say, pundits, if you can call them that, completely writing us off this season, saying we're going to be finishing 9th and things like that. But what they fail to forget is, Newcastle had a lot of injuries last season, and we still managed to finish 7th. We
and the goalkeeper missed the majority of the season. He's the best goalkeeper in the league. He's beating everyone's fantasy team, or in a lot of people, because he's that good. Yeah, he's outstanding. Yeah. He's worth so many points. And Nick Pope.
I mean, we've got a very fit squad now, barring a couple of players, and Newcastle like to play this high intensity, don't we, Billy? We like to press, we like to get stuck in, and I think we can cause Southampton problems by doing that on Saturday.
Yeah, it's getting out of your defensive third. It's going to be impossible for Southampton. Not impossible. Obviously, if you're savvy enough, you can do it. But it's going to be really hard for them teams, especially coming to St James's Park. Found it really hard 2 seasons ago. But I do think Southampton can compete with us physically in the centre of the park. I think, as Martin's mentioned, Downs and Smallbone in the centre of the park, physical players can compete. Might cause us a few problems, but I think that press is going to be the difference. I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Andrew says, evening, everyone. I think we're underestimating Southampton. Now, well, we can't underestimate them because we don't know how they're going to turn up. I mean, that's why we have a Southampton fan on the show. And you just said there, Matt, you're particularly worried about what's going to happen during the game. Is there anything that, from a Newcastle point of view, that you think we maybe should be worried about Southampton, where you could actually hurt us?
It depends if he's... I find it hard to see. I think Brereton Diaz looks a really good player. I like him. My biggest concern is we don't have an out-and-out 9. We lost Shay Adams in the summer, and he was our main man through the middle of last season. We played with him. He plays with his back to goal, and he held the ball up a lot. And he would get the ball wide and get wide men involved. Like Fraser's not with us at this moment in time. He played a lot back end of last season. Stuart Armstrong, he's gone. Shay Adams gone. These are all players that played in the final third for us. They're really important people. David Brooks was another player that played wide. We don't have any of these. And we've got an injury to Camaldine Silamano, who's not really featured loads, but he's probably one of our quicker, pacier players. He'd be relying on maybe 2 young talents from the academy to potentially step in. A lad called Tyler Dibbling looks really good. He won't start Saturday, but he's one to watch. He is pacey. He scored a fantastic goal, actually, at St James's Park for I think it was our under-21s against your under-21s. Brilliant play. Ran from the halfway line. Scored a beautiful goal. He's a very, very good player. He'd get an opportunity at some stage the weekend. I just find it hard to see where we're gonna hurt you. Like I said, we like to play a possession base, so it will be built from the goalkeeper. They take a lot of risks in around the edge of their 18-yard box. Southampton.
We love that.
We want them to build from the back, and that's what concerns me. We have a goalkeeper that probably won't be our number 1 in a week's time, because I believe we'll get a goalkeeper, and he's not good with the ball at his feet. Who is
your number 1 at the moment, man?
Alex McCarthy will play in goal the weekend. Gavin Bazunu is injured. He's out till next year. He's a young goalkeeper, but we're not comfortable with him in goal. I think we need something slightly different. Jack Stevens played in who's a defender. He played almost in front of the back four at the weekend in that John Stones role. Whether he'd be good enough to do it at St James's Park under a press, like you said, because you will press us, I think there'll be goals galore the weekend. I really do. I fear going to Newcastle in the first game.
I'm really glad you're saying this because
it could cause us big problems. That we need to try and put a performance in. Everyone's written us off, probably. Like you talk about, you guys being written off. I think we're written off Saturday to get a result. Most Saints fans expect us to get beaten at the weekend because I just don't think we're quite squad ready right now.
I don't think.
Well, Billy's got you finished. Billy's got you finishing mid-table at the end of the season. So, you know,
I think it'd be hard to get mid-table.
I mean, I've got you finishing 20th. So I do apologise. I would like to see them finish higher, but
I think we'll stay up. I think we've got an opportunity to stay up. I think the manager will be the difference.
It concerns me about the style because obviously Burnley came up the previous season wanting to play sexy football with Vincent Kompany and bring the Man City kind of vibe. You guys had 66% possession in the Championship last year, and you were the boys in the Championship. And that never, ever, ever translates into the Premier League. It's only ever translated once, and that was Brendan Rodgers' Swansea side. Did he manage to get a tune out of them? I've never, ever seen anybody be able to make that step up with a possession-based team. And on top of that, Southampton were 14th in the Championship for goals conceded, which...
We let a lot of goals in. That
concerns me, the fact that that's the Championship
64.
as well.
I think 64 goals.
It was 1.4 a game I've got here, but however many that adds up
you're
to.
correct,
That concerns me for them, because I don't want them to go down. I would prefer a different club went down that we don't like. But
Everton,
you guys the other way. I worry about you conceding too many. Look, Sheffield United went down conceding over 100 goals. I'm really concerned for Southampton just getting overrun. We're a nightmare to play against. We're all fit in pre-season.
Well, we've certainly looked a nightmare in pre-season, haven't we? But the way we've pressed the teams that we've played.
Has young Tino Livramento played much for you over pre-season?
He has.
Yes, he has, but he's looked a bit rusty.
Has he?
He's a fantastic player, but I think he's a little bit rusty. But we're not sure if he's going to start or whether Kieran Trippier will start.
He's a bit sloppy on getting beaten once or twice a game, and he's not always the best at his back post. There's a couple of things he needs to keep working on.
Yeah,
but
I totally
his
agree.
athleticism and technical ability is outstanding. Like, he's fantastic.
He's a good player.
He is, and I think we've got two fullbacks who, if they do start on Saturday, Lewis Hall on the other side is absolutely fantastic. I mean, he's come on leaps and bounds. Stayed out the side a lot last season because Eddie was working with him and getting him ready. But boy, does he look ready now. He's an incredible player. And then the centre-backs, we're not sure who it'll be. Fabian Schär will start, but who will start alongside him? It could be Lloyd Kelly. It could be Dan Burn.
It'll be Dan Burn.
I'm thinking it's Dan Burn as well because he won't take the risk on Lloyd Kelly straight away. But I mean, do you think Southampton, Martin, will give it a go? Do you think that they'll actually try? They won't just sit back, park the bus. They'll try and attack.
We'll be open. Yeah, we'll be open. We'll be waiting. That'd probably be the concern. He came out a couple of weeks ago, Russell Martin, in a after pre-season game, and he said we will attack the Premier League like we did the Championship. He said we're not going to sit back in games, and he said we will get thrashed a few times. He said, but we're not going to sit in games. We're going to go and attack it.
That scares me, though. That scares me.
It's scary.
Is there not a need to shift it to a little bit more pragmatic?
Yeah, and he came out and said that, but when you watch them on the field, like I've watched them a couple of times pre-season. I've watched all the games on on streams, but I've watched a couple of games live. He's looked and made us a little bit harder to beat than we were because he play a 5 at the back on the weekend. He won't go with a flat 4. He go with a 5. It would come a 4 at times, maybe when we're sort of like pressing up the field. But they certainly they've got tied. I think the playoff campaign, he changed things around massively. The ball didn't go back to the goalkeeper as much. It went forward more. It went into midfield quicker. They tried to get Downs on the half turn a bit more and get him a little bit further up the field because he influences in and around the opposition's 18-yard box. I think he looked to do that a bit more and not be so slow from back to front. And we certainly looked like that in the last couple of pre-season games.
Yeah,
where
you were taking the most
harder
amount
to
of
beat.
passes as well, and you were like nearly last in the league for long balls. So you were very much work the opportunity as slow as possible. Whereas I think there might be the need to be a bit more direct
snappy.
sometimes.
Yeah, and you need the players and the personnel to do that, don't you? To play that style,
Absolutely.
you need the personnel.
Back, he would help.
Yeah, see, Adam Lallana's not played any pre-season games. Typically, we've brought him in on free.
None at all.
No, he got injured. He got injured against Eastleigh in the opening pre-season fixture, and he's not kicked a ball since. Russell Martin said today in his press conference he's nearing fitness, but he's not played a game in pre-season. The same with Ross Stewart. He's not kicked a ball like in a game. Whether they're having behind closed doors, I just don't see how these two make any impact at the weekend. I just don't see that. What can they offer at this moment in time when they've not played?
Is Lallana not going to play?
No, he's in.
What about Carlos Alcaraz? Has he come back to the club?
Carlos Alcaraz is back. He come back in the summer. I had the pleasure of going to an event the club put on. I had a good chat with him. His English is broken. He wants the opportunity to stay at the football club. He won't get it, I don't believe. They are in negotiations with a Brazilian club at this moment in time to sell him for about 21 million. He doesn't really suit Russell in the way Russell wants to play. The problem is he's our most creative player at the football club. So who else is going to create from midfield? Because he's a good player with the ball. He can travel with it. He frustrates the manager. He frustrates the fan base a little bit. There's a lot of talk of Matt O'Reilly coming in from Celtic. We've been told, I was at a fans forum Monday, we will not be able to do any business until we get bodies out the door. Alcaraz is one of them. The other one's Armal Bella-Kotchar is a centre-back. I think both of them are probably leaving.
Hasn't he just had a heart problem?
Yeah, he failed a medical, supposedly. They believe it will still go through. It's a very minor issue, Martin said today. He said he was furious that had been spoken about as being the reason why. I think it's been a long-standing issue. I think it was an issue he had. It's been rectified. But Martin confirmed today in his press conference that he expects the deal to go through. For Bella-Kotchar, it's good for both parties. He won't feature for us.
What's happened to him? Because I thought he looked really, really good originally when you signed him. He looked like a really good technical young centre half. I thought he was going to progress.
Massive reason why we got relegated was people like Bella-Kotchar. Down tools as soon as the going got tough. Went down too easy. Picked up an injury to his shoulder and never really.
Because he was like 19 though.
Yeah, big attitude issues. I thought didn't get on with. It probably got on okay with the first manager under when he joined, Ralph Hasenhüttl. Then Nathan Jones come in, didn't really suit his style of play at all, and then he just was always one of those players that looked to get off the field. And Martin liked him, but he wanted out the minute we got relegated. He wanted out. Yeah, and I think anybody that wanted out when you're relegated, you don't want him back, really. Just because we're back in the Premier League, he now wants back. I think the situation's probably similar with Alcaraz. He didn't fancy the Championship at all. It was dirty. It was gritty. You got to get stuck in, work together. Martin's all about work ethic and everyone coming together. He's not that sort of player. Neither of them are, and that's why neither of them will probably play for Martin in the Premier League.
Interesting. Well, I mean, look, it's going to be a great game. I know you were only on for 25 minutes, Martin, so we'll ask you quickly for your prediction.
Before we do that, can I just ask SofaScore? I've got the predicted Southampton lineup. I just want to see what he thinks of that.
Tell me it, and I'll tell you what I think it'd be.
Do you think that's possibly close to what you're going to line up as?
No, Jack Steve. So at the weekend against Sam Adozi definitely won't play. I can categorically say that I don't think he'll play. He's not been great. He's all right. He's got no end products. I think Adam Armstrong will play there where Adozi is. I think Jack Stevens will play in midfield. And that will be to Yiki Sigurara will play at right back. In at left back will be Carl Walker-Peters. And Joe Aribo will play in where Adam Armstrong is at the moment. So I think Joe Aribo will potentially play in that false nine. Okay. I think he will do. Yeah, he plays a false nine. We won't play without an out striker. Aribo's quite a strong little player. Yeah, he's all right, to be fair. He impressed me back end of last season. Another one didn't do well last time in the Prem. Jack Stevens won't play at left back, definitely. I think that will be Carl Walker-Peters. But that will be the only change. Adozi out, income, Carl Walker-Peters at left back, and they just have a reshuffle. But that's how they set up at the weekend. Armstrong won't play as a 9. I just don't see it. As much as He loved to play through the middle against Newcastle, his boyhood club his dad supports. I don't think it's going to happen.
Well, we will wait and see. What's your prediction then, Martin? Is it your head or your heart?
I have to go with my head. My heart, I'd love to see us win. I don't think we will. Opening day fixture in the Premier League last time around, we got thrashed 4-1. I think if we can keep it below 5, I'll be happy. I'm going to go with a 4-1 defeat, unfortunately. I think we will score, but I think we'll get beaten.
Okay. Well, enjoy your trip to St James's Park.
Good luck for the season, guys. I wish you all the best.
You too.
Absolutely. You too, Martin. Thank you very much.
Top manager, top club. I think anybody outside, sort of like, you always want to see Newcastle do well because, decent club. Can't wait to visit. Can't wait.
Yeah, you'll have it.
Please follow Martin's channel as well, by the way. So there it is for anybody who.
Thank you very much indeed. Appreciate that. Yep. Yeah, I'm a TikToker as well. So if you're on TikTok at Football Martin _ on there, I create content on a daily basis. So I do fan cam. So not only do I focus on Southampton, once I get to Newcastle at the weekend, I will go around your fan base and get a bit of a feeling from the fans and put it on my channel as well. So
we'll be up there. So
me and Alex will be there. So you might bump.
I'll drop you a line. I'll look to find you.
Yeah,
it'd be amazing. Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me on your channel. It's very professional. Really enjoyed it. It's been brilliant.
You're very welcome, mate. You take care and good
thank you, gents.
Thank you,
Thank
mate.
you so much.
Bye-bye. Great guy. Spoke a lot of sense and very, very complimentary about the Toon, which we always like. Look, Southampton, he's gone for trying to keep it to a 4-1. I mean, Jesus, he's not confident, but hey, we'll see. I mean, it's opening day. Anything.
I agree with him. To be fair, I'm in one of those moods where if we turn up, it could get a little bit embarrassing for Southampton if we really turn up, because I feel like Murphy's up for it, Isak's up for it, Gordon is very up for it, Joe Linton's ready to go, Bruno, they're all absolutely chomping at the bit, they're all fit. I feel like if it clicks, I'm not gonna do it for anybody. We won't do a Luton, but the mood they're in, I am excited.
Let's learn a little bit from last season, Alex. I mean, the Newcastle have got to learn a bit from last season, so have we. With certain score predictions. Michael McIntyre, thank you for your super sticker. James Mann, thank you for your super chat. He says, if Mark Gay is a superstar, why isn't he on superstar wages instead of 50 grand a week? Come on, Palace, pay him what he's worth. And Ian Fleming, who's been a member for 2 years. Thank you very much, Ian. Of course, one of our mods as well.
I'm being told it's the drink. I'm on 0 alcohol beverages.
Yes. Ian says you can have Dubravka, of course, talking to Martin about their goalkeeper situation. But we do have some absolutely fantastic news, by the way. We've obviously, Charlie is a big fan of the channel, Charlie and her family. Of course, Logan is a massive fan of Billy Bob. Charlie had her baby today. Those of you that know Charlie in the chat, she was going into hospital today to have the little one, and everything went really well. And here he is. There he is in his Newcastle United little, what do you call them these days? I can't remember. Baby grows. Born to love Newcastle, just like Daddy. 7 pound 2 ounces. So absolutely fantastic news. And a little new Newcastle United fan is here. And you've got to start them young, guys, haven't you? So it's he's called Caleb Reynolds. So welcome to the world, little Caleb. And
that's a funny way of spelling Bruno.
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah, maybe a future number 9 in the future for Newcastle. So both mother and baby are doing very well. Charlie sent us some emails today, so she's doing really well. So congratulations, guys, and welcome again, little Caleb. Now, moving on to the match. I mean, look, I'm trying to put this team together against Southampton, and I just can't do it because I just don't know which way Eddie's gonna go.
Well, we can build it together if you want.
Well, I mean, it's fine to build it together, Alex, but we can build all we want. But the problem is, We just don't know, because how many times last year did we predict teams and then Eddie throws a spanner in?
Well, we're normally close. There's normally one that he just gets you with, isn't it?
I think we can all predict the front six, the midfield, and the front three pretty easily.
Yeah.
It's just the back four, and it's only one position in the back four in my eyes.
It could be two, Billy. You know, you've got Trippier Livramento argument. You've also got the Dan Burn, Lloyd Kelly. I mean,
that's it. That's the two I was thinking of. Yeah.
The thing is, I mean, I'm along the lines of Eddie. Knowing Eddie like we've seen since he's been at the club, he'd probably go with his tried and trusted to start the season.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, Alex, what do you reckon? Because I'd love to see Tino start. I don't, let's be honest. Kieran hasn't had a lot of games. He's played half a game.
Can we get the board up so I can see things? I can't.
Get the board up.
Alex, let me do the buttons.
All right. Let me take it.
Excuse me.
Oh, for God's sake, will you just get on with it?
I'll get the keeper. We know who the keeper's going to be.
Yeah, Nick Pope, definitely.
John Ruddy.
I mean, if Dubravka's on that team sheet, I'll rip my own teeth out.
He might be on the bench.
Well,
right. So Fabian Schär and Nick Pope are the two absolutely nailed on ones.
Yeah.
I think the right back is up for debate as well.
Well, hang on. Let's put into the side the nailed ons, shall we?
Yeah,
and then
we'll do the nailed ons.
So midfield, Bruno's nailed on. I think the midfield's nailed on. Bruno, Joe Linton, and Longstaff. I think that's who we all think are going to start, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
No Willock in the starting 11, no?
No, I don't think he will, no.
Joe Linton, so that's the midfield three. Are we 100% confident that Gordon's going to start this game? Because he has only featured for 45 minutes. Yeah, I think he probably will. Yeah, I think he probably will, but I think it's an interesting question.
He did get a kick as well, so I mean, is he fit? That's the question, but I think he'll start.
Murphy definitely at the right wing?
I would think so. I mean, he could easily throw a spanner in the works there, but...
Oh, please, God, no.
Right, so that is the obvious ones, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's the defence that we need to talk about, and maybe... I mean, let us know in the chat, guys. I mean, what do you think? I'm going to put a poll up as well, actually, about a certain Mark Gay. So talk among yourselves, fellas.
Let me bring all the potentials up. And
I don't think he'll play, Mark Gay.
No.
Right, so it's going to be Dan Burn. You've got Lewis Hall. What's Kelly? 25. You've got Trippier and you've got Livramento. So
I've put the poll up there. Simple question for you guys to answer. Should we walk away from the Guehi deal? Yes or no? We'll just leave that run until the end of the show. So yeah, I mean, are we thinking along Eddie's lines or what we would prefer here? Because I know what I'd prefer.
100% walk away.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the defence for Saturday. Alex.
Oh, the defence. Oh, sorry.
I know how you feel on the Guehi deal. I know. Don't worry, mate. I know.
Well, we've got the 5 up there. So it's who of the 5 play and where do they play?
Well, I think Hall has to play. Personally, I don't think Eddie Howe will see he has to play because of the way he's played the past.
I mean, he could do that, but we've not seen that at all in pre-season.
He can't possibly play.
He'd have done it last year if you'd have let him.
He could do it the other way around.
Well, yeah.
Well, possibly Lloyd Kelly at left back. Yeah, but Lewis Hall's been on fire in pre-season. Surely he's not going to
start.
He's not experimented with that at all in pre-season, but maybe that's because he couldn't, because he was having to swap lineups.
I'd be staggered if Lewis Hall isn't left back. In fact, I'd be bloody annoyed if Lewis Hall doesn't get the start because he is going to be our
Hall left back. Yeah,
no, I think Hall.
It has to be. It has to be. I mean, I'd be staggered. I'd be.
Is that the curveball though? Lloyd Kelly at left back.
No, not for me.
I've not seen him there, have we?
No,
he's never played there, and Lewis Hall's been in all the time in pre-season. I think he's ready to start Lewis Hall as his number 1 left back this year. He's got to. He's the best left back we've got at the club. Let's be honest. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah,
you can't leave your best left back out. You just can't.
He's one of the best in the league, I think.
Exactly. I mean, he's a future England left back. There's no doubt about that. So. He's got to. It's the centre back and right back that I think are the main 2 positions that I'm not 100% sure about, to be fair.
No, I think Trippier will play, and I think he'll be captain.
You think Trips will play?
I think Trippier will play as well.
Keith Truscott, thank you for your super chat. Hall has to be starting. Indeed, I agree 100%. Why are you so confident Trippier will play? Because he's played 45 minutes in pre-season, guys. He hasn't played a lot of games. I know Gordon's the same, but Gordon's a lot younger and fitter for me. But Kieran Trippier, we don't know where his head's at in his personal life. We don't know what's gone on over the summer with regards to...
he's a professional. I think he'll be all right.
He is of course he's a professional, but it can affect everybody. He's human after all.
I think he likes his leadership. I think he likes his set pieces. I think he's virtually certain to play.
And you've got to remember, we've still got 5 substitutions now in the Premier League. So that makes it a lot more flexible for us. We can just bring Tino on if we need to. I think he will start Trippier, personally.
Laura's saying there, if they're wanting to ship Trippier out, he might be saved to increase his price. In case he gets injured. Dan says because Trips is in the window with 2 weeks to go, might increase his price. Exile Andy Max says Livermento and Kelly Central, easier game. Try it out. Trips and Burn on the bench. Yvonne says Trippier will be in from the start. Predator says Burn will be captain. So not everybody's 100% certain about this, and I think it's it's definitely scratch ahead time. But if we know Eddie of the past, he definitely likes going with his. He likes going with his tried and trusted. But the thing is, Billy, has Eddie learned any lessons from last season about going with his tried and trusted? Because sometimes it did not work.
I've got no kind of problems with him playing his tried and tested when we've only played. It's our first game and everyone's not knackered. If we'd played like four games in 10 days, and maybe then you'd want changes. But it's the first game of the season. With no problem with him playing it this week.
Paul wants to show the team that we would play, not Eddie Howe. Well, if that's the case, I'd have Lloyd Kelly centre back and Livermento starting.
I'd have Lloyd Kelly centre half, definitely.
I would possibly still start Trippier, no, even me.
I mean, Lloyd Kelly's looked really good in pre-season as well. And I just think...
Especially with Martin saying they don't play with an actual 9, it's just false 9s. I think Lloyd Kelly's more suited to that than Dan Burn is.
Yeah, I mean, if they had a real sort of bustling, let's be honest, if there was a full Krug up there for Southampton, you would probably play Dan Burn.
If Adams was still there.
Well, he was shit there, wasn't he? I mean,
well,
yeah, but you know what? Chris Wood shit he scored against us. Let's be honest.
He scored 3.
Yeah. Let's not look back.
Are we thinking Dan Burn's probably going to get the nod then because
I would think so.
Tried and trusted?
Probably. I mean, if we're being honest, that's probably going to be the back 4. I mean, Fabian Schär starts. He's first on the team sheet for me.
If he's fit, remember he limped off.
Well, he did limp off. It'll be interesting to see what Eddie has to say in his press conference tomorrow. And by the way, we will be live at 11:30 in the morning with the press conference reaction. So we'll go live at 11:30, and we'll be talking about all the talking points from the press conference and see if that gives away anything to do with the starting line. He normally doesn't, of course. He's normally very... But at least we'll be able to hear the questions that are asked this time. So, will he be pressed on certain things this time? Will he not? Time will tell. Midfield speaks for itself. Willock, again, we're not sure what his fitness is like because he limped off. I think that was more cramp.
Right. Yeah, that was just... He hadn't played that many minutes in a long time. I think they were just keeping him on purpose. He was touching his hamstring for ages, and they just kept him on. They're like, "No, sorry, Joe, keep running, get some minutes in your legs. He's fine."
Yeah, Longstaff playing again. I mean, Willock. I don't think he puts Willock in for Longstaff, and he's certainly not going to leave Joe Linton or Bruno out, is he?
I mean, he might play Joe Linton where Longstaff isn't play Willock, but I don't think so. I think he'll go with Longstaff, and it's tried and tested. That's the midfield that got us 4th in the season before last. So,
so Willock a substitute front 3. I mean, it's got to be them 3, hasn't it?
I mean, he could play. He could.
He could play Gordon on the right. Yeah, but he could throw a curveball and play Gordon on the right, Barnes on the left. that's an option that he certainly does have if he's looking for a lot of pace down the right-hand side, and certainly Gordon would give him that. Murphy's however,
not slow.
No, but I don't think Murphy's done anything wrong to not deserve to start.
No, he scored 5 goals in pre-season. He's been fantastic.
He's been on fire. So I genuinely think that Murphy will start the game. Almiron as an impact sub. I mean, hopefully we won't need an impact sub on Saturday. He can make substitutions in the second half and give players a little rest or something before. Listen. It's the first game of the season. And I remember Forest at home, when we struggled to break them down until Fabian's absolute thunder strike. But as Martin's just said there, maybe, Southampton aren't that kind of team. They won't just sit back and defend. They will give it a go.
No, they definitely leave a lot of gaps. I mean, to be fair, I haven't actually shown you this yet. This is their stats from last season. They will definitely not sit in a low block. They will try and play football against us. They won't just back off and sit like Forest did. Although that was a bit harsh. Forest weren't that defensive, but yeah, 66% possession in the Championship, highest amount of shots on target per match, highest amount of accurate passes per match. They want to play pretty football. Like that is hands down what they are about. They were phenomenally higher than any other team in the league at that. Accurate long balls down in 22nd. So they do not play direct. They may, as we just discussed with Martin, they might shift to a more direct style potentially.
Well, the thing is, if they don't have a number 9, Alex, if they're playing with a false 9, then the direct style probably wouldn't suit them anyway, would it?
Well, they didn't have an issue creating goals, but they're going to have to shift that somewhat just because of the ability. Like the quality of the centre halves and of the teams is much higher. They're not going to be able to create as many chances as they were. They're not going to be on the ball half as much as they were either. They're not going to get 66% possession. They'll be lucky if they get 50, an absolute push. And then that is obviously what we were talking about with Martin. If they're letting in that many in the Championship, this is one thing that kind of makes me think they could, if they start off getting absolutely thumped in the first few games, it could be a real long season for them. Really long. I am worried for them. I am, because I like them as a football club. I think they should be part of the Premier League consistently, but you do have to earn your right to be in the Premier League. And they really worry me. Positives about Ben Brereton Diaz, but I mean, we saw him at Sheffield United. We've talked about him for many years on this channel. I think a few of us wanted to take a punt on him from Blackburn 3 years ago. I'm kind of glad we didn't now. I'm not that scared of Ben Brereton Diaz. I mean, if he scores, he scores. Fine.
Well, you've bloody said it now, haven't you?
But they need him to be useful over 38 games, not just one.
Well, didn't we want him at one time? Didn't we as fans maybe give him a shout quite a few times?
Yeah, but this was... this was 3 years ago. This was before.
It was. Yeah,
this was when we wanted somebody to come in and support Wilson. We didn't have Isak or any. None of those names existed at that point. We'd still got Fraser and players like that up front. So,
Misha says start Kelly before Bernard centre back all day, lads. Come on. Yeah, but
we'll do Eddie Howe's team, Misha. We're not. Yeah, we'd all pick Kelly.
Yeah. I probably would pick Kelly as well.
I'd pick Kelly, no doubt about it. But this is Eddie Howe. He doesn't think like that. Anthony says pre-season alone, Murphy and Hall start. Willock, I'm concerned about. Just can't see him staying fit. Dan thinks that Fraser will be gone on Monday. Owners don't want someone that motivated against us week 1. Len said, I've texted this before. This is Howe's make or break season. To be honest, I can't argue with that. I think if we're not up there in the top 6 most of the season, I think the pressure's on. But listen, Eddie will know that anyway. He knows this caliber of players that he's got and where these owners want us to be.
They won't be getting fired in the first 3-4 months of the season because what is the chance that the FA might be paying compensation to us for him? He won't be getting fired.
You stop mentioning that Southern England job. Peter Garthwaite, thank you for your super chat. Almiron will start without doubt, says Peter. I don't think he will. I think
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, but Billy, come on. I mean, how do you think Jacob Murphy would feel if he's left out after the preseason that he's had? He's head and shoulders above Almiron.
He is.
And
it makes
Jacob
more
Murphy's
sense.
a professional, isn't he? He
I know
care.
he's a professional, but I'm sorry. But if I was Jacob Murphy, I'd be fucked off. Royally fucked off.
Against Southampton, who are likely, according to Martin, to play Carl Walker-Peters as left back, who is right-footed, as far as I'm aware. I think he's right-footed.
Yeah, he does play.
Surely Jacob Murphy would make more sense.
Yeah.
Because you're playing against his weak foot. It would make otherwise Miggy's cutting in. He's going to be cutting in onto his strong side.
Third foot, exactly.
So I think Murphy gets the nod every day, in my opinion.
Keith, thank you for another super chat. If you're picking Eddie's team, are you sure about Murphy and not Miggy? It is Southampton after all. Please stop saying that.
We said that about Luton last year, so let's not get too carried away.
Look,
I didn't say about Luton last year.
I didn't actually. No, I think you completely wrote them off, Alex. Let's be honest. You completely.
Well, it was a dismal display. We should have battered them.
We should have. I predicted it though.
Yes. All right, Billy. All right.
The one time. I'm always saying they want to have done it.
Yeah, well, this season we have our little hosts prediction league, remember? So I know Sam's not here tonight, but we'll get her prediction. And we'll have a little league. So it'll be like 3 points for the correct score, 2 points for the the win, or if they've gone for a loss, it draws a one, and the things like that. But I'll work the points out. But we'll have a little fun with that over the season. Northumberland Hopper or Rock Hopper says these were banana skins for us last season. We thought we would spank teams like this, and what happened? Yes, but we didn't.
We did.
Side.
Early doors, we did.
Yes, we
did. The wheels fell off when everyone got injured. Tonali got banned, and the Champions League got to us. It was fine in the early stages, and I think we will still be fine in the early stages this year. And I don't think the wheels are going to fall off as much this year. Even if we get unlucky, the wheels are slightly better bolted on this year. So, hopefully Tonali stop rolling dice, and we can keep some players fit.
I think he's stopped doing that now, Alex. I think he's got the help. Fingers crossed, yeah. Listen, many people are saying, get 2 or 3-0 up and put the kids on. I don't want to see that. I want to see us go out and no, Alex. I want to see us go out there and absolutely pummel them.
I want
and send a message to the Premier League that we are back, and we are not going to. We mean business, and I think it's a perfect chance to go out there and batter them, and put a message out to the Premier League.
3-0 at half time, and get Asula on with Sanusi. Bring one of maybe Kelly on if he didn't start. 3-0 up at half time, and bring some of the players on. I would be all right with that. We don't need to win 8-0 against everybody like we did against Sheffield United.
Alex, me and you are just going to have a fight on Saturday, because if we're 3-0 up at half time and he does that, I'm going to punch you in the face, because I want to see us... No.
He doesn't make subs till 67 minutes. We all know this.
Exactly. He never makes substitutions at half time, so it could be 6-0 up by 67 minutes. That would be fine with me.
Rotation.
But I just think we need to put a message out there, guys. Billy, what do you reckon? Because I just want to see us really perform and put a message out saying that we mean business this year.
Yeah, I mean, I've got no qualms with the likes of Sanusi and Jamie.
Oh yeah, Sanusi and Asula and stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Jamie Miley, I'd love to see him come on. But I mean, we've got impact subs on the bench now, which is something we've rarely had. Even the likes of Miggy on the bench, Harvey Barnes, Asula. Impact subs for me. Willock, another one. That's 4 impact subs. Something we've never had. It's a proper little luxury for Eddie Howe this year. This is at this moment in time. So even if we do make changes, I think we can progress from whatever we are at half time. I've got to say.
Yeah. Alan, I agree 100%. We need to set the intent. Julie says a 6-0 would be a fair result. Robert, I completely disagree with you, saying that Alex is right simply because you spelled it wrong. But we'll move on. Garant says, I want to go 4-0 up and rotate those players with kids. Dan says, Paul, I don't think any professionals underestimate us anymore. Well, ex-professionals certainly do.
Very wrong, because ex-professionals who you'd still consider were professionals at one time, everybody's written us off.
Even 2 on the overlap today. Keane and Ian Wright got Southampton to win Saturday.
Have they actually?
Yes.
Have they seen us in pre-season? Do they know we're at
Oh,
home?
well, of course they
well,
haven't seen us in pre-season. They won't have watched Newcastle. They'll just think, oh, you know.
It really bothers me that these guys get paid. They get paid by a company, a broadcasting company, to talk, and they don't do that really bothers me. They don't research, especially when Bonlahor opens his mouth as well. Do some research first. Do some homework, then talk. They just waffle general opinions without checking things first.
A knob, okay? Most of the talk sport numpties. Chipper says it's how we start on Saturday. Last season we started far too slowly. We need to be in their face, pressing from minute 1 to minute 90.
We won 5-1 our first game.
We beat Villa's 5-1.
Mm-hmm. And the game against Girona, we had a penalty to go 4-0 up on the 21st minute, and Isak missed it. So.
Shit, Isak, isn't he? David says we need a good result. Potential player incomings, right wing, right centre back. I don't think the result on Saturday would impact any players.
I was just seeing a really good comment. I don't know what you guys think about this, Paul. Clouds has said, "How can we say Howe is under pressure when he hasn't been backed in the transfer window?" Technically, that's true. He's not really been backed yet, has he?
Yeah. That's not a bad point. That isn't a bad point. But how many times have we seen that in football where a manager just has not been backed at all and the owners sack him and blame it all on the manager? I think Eddie Howe made a lot of mistakes last season, don't get me wrong, and I hope he's learned from them. But I want Eddie to be a massive success at this football club. I've said it many times. But I think it's a very good point to make that at the moment, as we sit here and now, I think if he gets a centre-back and he gets a right winger, then he has been backed.
Yeah.
All right. I think that is the main thing. If we don't, then I agree with it. I think, he's been left out to dry a little bit with having to. But then again, he doesn't help himself by coming out and saying that Miggy's a massive part and things like that.
He's got to say that. He's got to say that.
He's got to say it, but there's different ways he can say it, I think. But you know what I mean? It's just it's very hard to. I mean, listen, PIF aren't going to take any shit. We know where they want to be, and Eddie knows where they want to be. But Eddie's his own critic. Let's not deny that.
I think Eddie can quite and rightly say to the board. I think we would have been top 4 last season if Nick Bowler stayed fit. Just one player. He can quite say that, and he can also say, "I didn't know that Sandro Tonali was going to be banned for gambling."
Yeah,
that's two things that were totally out of his control, which would have had his top 4.
David says, "With disrespecting Southampton, Saturday could be a close game." Absolutely, David. The Southampton guest at the start of the show completely wrote them off as well, and he's a fan of the Saints.
Not sure it's disrespectful. It's the stats.
Yeah, it's
how they were last year.
Absolutely, it's the players, on paper as well. I mean, I know it never works out like that. Listen, it's the first game of the season. Anything could happen. We've seen that in years gone by in the Premier League where we've had some absolutely crazy results. Football is a strange game. Look at the Championship last week. Sunderland beat Cardiff away, and then they lose to Preston. Managerless Preston in the Carabao. So, it's a strange game. Niall says buffering again. There's nothing buffering on YouTube, Niall, so I think it's you, mate.
Can I just mention as well about the Eddie being backed? If Fabian Schär and Jacob Murphy both get 2 long-term injuries, that is Emil Kraft and Miggy that have to play 40 matches. We don't get top 4. Not a chance. If those 2 have to play 40 matches, and I've actually really enjoyed watching Emil Kraft in pre-season. I'm honoured, and it's a pleasure that he's managed to turn my opinion around. I think he's a good player now, and he put in some great performances. And Miggy was okay in his pre-season performances, but if we need to rely on both of them for 40-odd matches in cup competitions in the league, we're not getting a European place, not a top European place.
Interesting. Saturday says Peter can't come quick enough. Yeah. Bandit says we are going to do the double league and cup this year. How are the lads and lasses? I mean, if you're right with that, then Alex is basically going to look like I'm not sure what he looked like.
Marilyn Monroe.
An albino?
I'm not doing the eyebrows as well. That was never agreed.
You fucking
You
are.
look at the eyebrows, dark eyebrows, and blonde everything else, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Bruno doesn't dye the eyebrows.
That's
Alex,
true.
I will be down there to see this, to oversee this procedure.
Oh, if we do this, we'll do it on the channel. For people
absolutely.
who haven't seen the channel before, when we win a trophy, I am going to go blonde. I'll do the beard and the hair. I'll do the whole lot. But we will do it on the channel. We'll do it for charity, and I'll do everything blonde, and I'm going to look ridiculous. But I mean, Bruno and Joelinton do it, so why not?
That's true.
Yeah. Rachel says the overlap lot annoyed me, biased towards their own teams. Yeah. Bill said, noted Buffett for me too, and I pretty much guarantee I have the fastest internet here. Well, I've had YouTube up constantly, and I've got various screens up on my desk.
A few have had Buffett, to be fair. It's not just one.
Well, it's not Buffett for me. That's all I can say. Have you lads had a deep dive on Logan Costa? He profiles very similar to Gui, available for 25 million.
We did him on a transfer show.
We did, yes.
We will do him again because his name has kept cropping up. Now people are discussing the idea of an alternative to Guehi. We'll definitely look at Logan Costa again.
Yep. Neza says, my missus has just said if we win the league, she'll get a Toon Army tattoo. Actually, if we win the league, Susan can get one and all.
You volunteering her for a tattoo?
Yes.
How does she feel about this?
Well, she was going to get one on her leg. She may as well get the Toon badge. I mean, why
I'm
not?
going to get Newcastle United Premier League champions 2024-25 on my appendage.
Guys, okay, I get that it's I get that it's buffered for some people. That's fine. All right, let's not worry about it. It's done and dusted now. I can't help the buffering. It's YouTube. I know a lot of people have had problems with YouTube in the last couple of days, so let's not worry about it. Okay. Anyway, we are at the that point of the show where it is prediction time. Now, of course, these will be written down on the official Toon Review notepad, which is just a book I got from Manchester Airport. No,
that's bad luck. It's from Manchester. You can't use that.
It's from the airport. It's got nothing.
If we lose this game, that's going in the bin.
Okay.
That's definitely bad luck.
Oh, shut up! It's not bad luck. It's Concord notebook.
Manchester.
I just saw Susan in the chat there. That's a lot of words, Billy.
Oh, be very small letters. I've got to say. Might be written in Morse code.
She hasn't commented on the Toon tattoo, so maybe she didn't catch that. Peter Garthwaite, thank you for another super chat. Would you go with Branthwaite from Everton?
They'd ask for the same
him. I think they want more for him than what Palace do for Gay.
Yeah.
Would you pay more for him though? Is he better than Gay? Do you think?
No. Otherwise, he'd played in the European Championships, wouldn't he?
Well, he's young.
Yeah, there was a call for
Lewis Hall was good enough, but
yeah, he should have gone.
He's young; he wasn't called up.
I'm just writing at the minute. Just okay. So Southampton, Billy, what are you going for? What is your official prediction?
Yeah, I think we win quite convincingly. I'm going to say 4-0.
Oh, wow. Okay. Now, obviously, I'm not going to write them down, but who's your goal scorers on Saturday?
Well, I think Isak will be good for a couple. Joe Linton and Jacob Murphy.
Okay. Alex?
I'm going 5-0.
Oh, dear.
I think Isak's going to get 2. Gordon's going to get 1. Murphy's going to get 1. Possibly 1 from midfield. I'm going to go with Sean for the 5th. I think he'll be in the right place at the right time, as he was against Girona, and just managed to boot in the back of the net.
He likes a goal against Southampton, doesn't
he? Yes, he does. I'm going 3-0. I'm not going as sort of.
Simon.
Oh, don't you dare! Don't you feckin' dare call me that on this channel.
It's definitely wearing jeans today, guys.
I'm not actually. I'm just wearing a t-shirt. I've got nothing below that. I lie. It's not true. I've got a pair of shorts on because it's roasting in this studio yet again. Bald Geordie says, Billy, I'm getting the same tattoo, but I can get it round the circumference. Bloody hell.
They've got a drain pipe.
Christ. Yeah, so 3-0, 4-0, and 5-0 are the predictions. We'll get Sam's tomorrow night during the show.
3 clean sheets as well.
Yeah. Given what Martin was saying earlier, then there's no chance of Southampton scoring. He just isn't. I mean, he actually did predict that they'd score, didn't he? Because he went 4-1. So
he did, yeah.
We'll see.
They're still in that mood. You've got to remember, it's day one. They've just had a long season where they're very used to winning. So they're all they've not been demoralised by the league yet. Yep. You know, they've got that happiness about them. They're back. They play exciting football. So they might give us a bit of pizzazz. There might be a problem. But we just need to make sure we suffocate them with the press and we make just all the noise. Yeah, it'll be fine.
You know what, Dan? That's not a bad idea. That I should get an air conditioning here and write it off as a business expense to keep equipment cool. Not a bad idea, Dan. Right. That is it for the show. By the way, just to let you know, tomorrow night, TTR Friday is back. We will have all the usual banter. Those of you that have never seen TTR Friday, start your weekend off the right way, your football weekend the right way with a good laugh. Billy's Beef, Shane by Stato, Sam's Wine, they're all back tomorrow, as is our fan forum, where you get the chance to join us live on the show. You don't need to have a camera, you just have a microphone. I will put the link up halfway through the show for us to join us, and you can tell us live on the show how you're feeling ahead of the new season. And then, of course, on Saturday, join Billy at 2:30 for Matchday Live, Newcastle versus Southampton. Half an hour build up to the game, including all the team news and how you guys are feeling ahead of the game, followed by play-by-play commentary at 3 o'clock. So all that to come. You'll get my instant reaction to the game uploaded not long after the game's finished, and Alex will be part of that. So hopefully we will be having a very good little video after the game celebrating 3 points. But that is it for tonight, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for your super chats and for your memberships, etc. By the way, I missed the poll. Should we walk away from the Gahey deal? Yes or no? What do you think, guys?
I think they'll say yes.
65% yes.
You've just seen that in the chat, you cheating bastard.
No, I haven't.
65% said yes. And
my phone's closed. It
doesn't matter. Popplemags put it in the chat, Alex. I'm not stupid. 65% said yes. Alex, you should be ashamed of yourself.
I genuinely got that right.
You are genuinely a lying bastard.
No.
But anyway, thank you very much, guys. Thank you, mods. Thank you to Alex and Billy. And, of course, Mark, the Southampton fan. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday night. Don't forget, 11:30 in the morning, we have the Eddie Howe press conference reaction with me and Billy Bob. And then back at 7 o'clock with the TTR Friday show. Keirith Baines, thank you for your super chat later on. Much appreciated, my friend. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday, folks, and we will see you tomorrow. Good night.
Away the lads and lasses.
Come back and check out some green.